Oh, good Lord. It looked like we got some more bombshell information in the Diddy Cassie trial. If you haven't been keeping up with it, check on my page. We've been keeping up with it every single day of the trial. It looks like a witness has now hit the stand for the defense, and it's looking even worse for Cassie. Cassie has been caught in multiple lies. This doesn't help Diddy also because Diddy is still, I think, one of the weirdest, nastiest guys I've ever heard of in my life. Like, I don't know how you end up like this. I think it's childhood trauma with this guy. Stay tuned for this one because this is more craziness from this Diddy trial. Y'all don't want to miss this one. Let's get it, y'all.
It's currently day 6 of this Diddy trial, and there's a recurring theme here. The prosecutor is doing a very bad job at preparing their witnesses because there's not one witness for the state that took that stand and left the stand looking credible. They all got washed. And today was no different. Diddy Kane member Dawn Richard, who currently has a separate lawsuit out against Diddy herself, took the stand today at the Diddy trial. Now, she took the stand because she's a former Diddy employee. She's been around Diddy and a lot of women, including Cassie. And according to her, she witnessed a lot of things, even though those things will be called in dispute on the stand. Dawn Richards met with the feds on 8 separate occasions. She told them folks everything they wanted to know, man. She painted Diddy as the second thing closest to Satan when she met with the feds, bro. Told them everything. Now, if she just reliving her experience, she has every right to do so. But when she took the stand to relive her experience, she got caught up in a lot of inconsistency, and it didn't show up well for her in court today.
But Dawn Richard, she testified about the Cassie skillet incident with Diddy. And she said that after she witnessed this, that both Diddy and Harve Pierre, you know, they kind of threatened her at 2 different times. And one of the last things Diddy had said to her, according to Dawn Richard, was, if you tell, people go missing. And during the cross-examination, which was done by Diddy's female attorney, Nicole Westmoreland, and I thought she was effective, but she was a little nervous seeming at first. That's just my opinion. She forgot to say objection, but I mean, again, that's just why I kind of thought she was nervous. But she pointed out that about 7 of Dawn Richard's prior conversations with the government, she left that part out, the whole people go missing part. And Dawn Richard would get this transcript, she would look at it and be like, I mean, I don't know, like there was a note taker there, but I don't know why that I didn't say it. You know, she admitted that her memory has changed throughout the years. And then
she met with the feds on 8 different occasions, not 7. She made a little error there, but nonetheless, it don't matter. 8 different occasions where they're asking you, what did Diddy do? What's your experience with Diddy? Tell us all the horrible things Diddy have done to you. You don't mention, oh, he threatened that people go missing, that he would get you out, he would kill you. You don't bring that up. Now, she claims it's because of trauma, all right? She's a victim, trauma brain. But don't the memory gets worse, not better as the year goes on? So, like a year ago or 6 months ago, when they met with you 8 different times, you couldn't recall. Now, all of a sudden, when it's time to take the stand, you recall, man, get out of here, bruh. Get out of here. Now, the skillet incidents that she's referring to is actually like her claiming that she's seen Diddy hit Cassie with a skillet, but then like her recollection of this skillet like incident, she done gave like 4 different stories regarding this skillet incident. So she discredited herself right then and there, bruh, because stick with a story.
The skillet egg incident. Cassie was cooling the eggs. This is her testimony. Diddy was yelling. He attempted, pay attention, to hit her in the head. Cassie dropped down to a fetal position. Not the first time you spoke about the egg incident, is it? Dawn was very soft-spoken. It was hard to understand her. She said so it was like you heard a pan hit the wall, but you didn't see it. Now, she met with the feds on October 1st, 2024, and basically they are trying to say she heard it, but maybe didn't see it. She told the feds Diddy did hit her, but attempted and actually hitting her are 2 different things. Now, here is when Dawn gets cross-examined. Now, Miss Westmoreland, the Bulldog, tell the jury the truth. You gave 2 different stories, hitting and throwing a frying pan, 2 different things. Hitting and throwing a frying pan are 2 different things. In another statement, she said Combs actually threw the eggs and then sat the pan back down. So she's totally discrediting her story. Did he hit her?
Those aren't variations of the same story. Those are 3 different stories. Yeah. Throwing eggs at somebody, it's still disrespectful, but it's harmless. And then setting the pan down after you throw the eggs. Throwing a skillet at somebody is dangerous. Yeah. Now, taking the pan and hitting somebody with the skillet is completely different as well. I believe a lot of these people, man, they're just getting deals and they're just coming to court telling the feds what the feds want to hear, bro. She probably told one story. The story wasn't violent enough, so she told another story on like the 6th meetup. Because a lot of these people understand this is a Rico. Diddy is facing a racketeering charge. Diddy is the only man Who's the only defendant on a racketeering case? A racketeering case means you run a criminal organization. You're supposed to have co-conspirators. Who's the co-conspirators? All the people you see taking that stand and testifying, they're the co-conspirators. They're the people who helped Diddy run the criminal organization the feds is claiming Diddy ran. Dawn Richards, Cassie, those people, they helped Diddy run that criminal organization. They recruited the male escorts. They was assistants. They were there.
Yeah.
They helped Diddy cover up a lot of things according to the feds.
Yeah, because from what I've seen, Cassie was actually getting all the escorts, paying the escorts, giving them her contacts. She's the one who went out and got all the escorts. And for her birthday, she told everybody that this freak off was for her birthday. So it's really a nasty case.
So a lot of these people can't really be considered credible because they're only telling the feds what they got to tell the feds, man, so they don't get included in this RICO.
They also called her out, the defense called her out on another, I guess, statement from her civil lawsuit where she had described Diddy pulling Cassie out of a car by the hair and dragging her onto the grass, and a lot of people saw. And Don Richard said, oh no, that was something that my lawyers, they messed up on. It was a miscommunication, excuse me. And then the government got, during their redirect, to say, well, you were actually thinking of another violent incident, so it wasn't completely made up.
Who's allowing these people on the stand? You filed a lawsuit where you told the feds this as well. Well, you also put it in the lawsuit. This elaborate story of Diddy pulling Cassie from out the van, Diddy violating Cassie, doing this thing, right, whooping on her. And then you take the stand and say, oh no, my lawyers misheard me. Bro, I don't know where my lawyers got that from. That's not true. Shouldn't there be consequences for this? Shouldn't there be repercussions for this? Adding to these stories to destroy this man's reputation and name should be a crime, especially if you're just lying about it. Now, we've seen the Cassie video, so a lot of us don't really need much more information to decide if Diddy really put his hands on Cassie or not, because he did. He put hands on Cassie. We know this, bro. But that's bad enough. Adding all the cap on top of that, bro, to me, that's just nasty and that's just foul. We've seen what Diddy did to Cassie. To me, that should be enough. He should go to jail for putting his hands on a woman. We all agree. But adding on and like compiling a bunch of cap on top of the truth is nasty work. Now, they even like approached her about a story she told where she claims that Diddy did something in front of a camera crew, in front of a lot of people, but somehow only she had the recollection of this, and the footage don't exist of this incident, even though it was done in front of a camera crew and dozens of people.
Now, Don Richard, we're picking up now at the Grand Central Festival, right? Like I mentioned earlier, where Diddy had allegedly punched Cassie in the face right before they went on to perform. They all wore sunglasses. Miss Westmoreland, the Bulldog, says, why wasn't it on video? She said there was a film crew filming their entire time. You made an allegation that he punched her. Why not on video? All day at the festival, assault happened in a bathroom, she said, not filmed. So the incident you witnessed, you were not, nobody was alone. There was cameras everywhere. So they're saying, how does a camera not pick up anywhere where Cassie, we can see her injuries? Miss Harper was there in the car and in the restaurant. I don't know why Miss Harper is not testified. Maybe she's scared. Why didn't Miss Harper say anything and corroborate her story? That's my question. She didn't tell the government about the Pune-Punes. In 8 interviews, government didn't ask you about Pune-Punes? And also, did you ever see him pull out a Pune-Pune or wave it around? Did you ever see him threatening anybody with a Pune-Pune? She said no and no to that. Again, discrediting Don Richard. This is the build of Diddy's team, and it gets stronger.
After she goes through all the incidents, all the trauma that Diddy allegedly caused her, how distraught and destroyed her life was at the hands of Diddy, how Diddy was so powerful and had a grip on her life, how she wanted to leave the grip of Diddy and just went.
Hold on, let's talk about it for a second, because this is getting to the point, right, where I got to look at the prosecution and say, you went into this case unprepared. You are a New York City prosecution, and you went into this Diddy case, the Diddy Rico case, unprepared. Because now we got the bodyguard who was proven uncredible. You had the hotel security who was proven uncredible. He went home telling his wife happy about the situation. Uncredible. You got Cassie, who made her husband and herself look like a fool because everything she was saying is now uncredible. Now you got Dawn Richards, who looks like a fool because she recanted her story 5 or 6 different times and was found to be looking a little uncredible. Not even a little. She looks very uncredible. Every person that the state is pulling up to go against Diddy is uncredible. This case seems so easy. It seems so easy. But the state is literally pulling, they're actually ruining this case. From the beginning, we said the state looks like they're unprepared. And Diddy has an all-star team ready to go at it. It's looking like the state is just out here throwing Ricos out there. Because how you going to do a Rico and only one person is implicated? That's insane. You're supposed to be running a criminal enterprise that Bad Boy is the front. Well, where's the enterprise? And this is one of the times I gotta agree with Flacco. How you going to do a Rico against an enterprise and everybody who is a part of the enterprise and the Rico is on the stand going against him? Cassie's the one who got all the escorts. Cassie's the one who actually trafficked all the escorts. I'm just saying, y'all. She's the one who contacted him. She's the one who gave him out her information to go back and forth. She's the one who paid them. She's the one trafficking the escorts. What are we doing? How could the prosecution let this go like this? It seemed like a pretty simple case. But to my knowledge, it's looking like they literally messed this case up beginning to end. Now, from how messed up they made this case, it's looking like Diddy is guilty of abuse. He's guilty of different abuse towards women and his girlfriend at the time. Maybe you can hit him with a trafficking situation if you can bring back the money trail to him and say, oh, well, Cassie was in the direction of Diddy, but that also brings Cassie into it as still working for the enterprise. So I don't know how you do this. This is a mess. This is, honestly, man, this trial is a joke. New York City prosecution should feel ashamed of how much of a joke and a farce they have put on for the world, with the world watching. New York City, the supposed Mecca. I don't think it's the Mecca. I think actually Philadelphia was the first state. Is out here wasting everybody's time and tax dollars. And not that I don't think there's real victims and Diddy is potentially guilty. I'm saying y'all came forward with this case in this way after this amount of time, after all of these indictments, after all of these judge sanctioned abilities to go through all of his files. This is the best case you came up with. This is a joke, y'all. Drop it down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Every witness that the prosecution has brought to the stand has been proven non-credible and a joke. They recant their stories. Cassie's caught in every lie possible in front of her husband who been riding for her. This is nasty work, y'all. I've been going hard on this Diddy situation. Make sure y'all drop a like. Man, don't even drop a like. Disrespect that like button. It's your boy, What's Up G. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all, I love y'all. I'm out, y'all. This is a joke.